One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back.
Do you want to know how fantastic one of our sponsors is?
Of course I do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Our
Yes,
sponsor,
Shop Tour Bus.
What happened to you?
I backed off the mic so I didn't blow everybody's ears out.
All right.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, everybody. Shop Tour Bus is one of our amazing sponsors that creates Grateful Dead inspired merch. They have a new design.
It is They
love each other.
Just in time for Valentine's Day. So check it out. If you're out there and you're like, well, most of you are already
We're all out
you're
there.
out there.
You guys all are out there.
But if you're wondering what to get that person that loves the Grateful Dead in your life for Valentine's Day, your woes are now ended. Go over to @ShopTourBus on Instagram or
They're shipping out on the 1st, February 2nd.
shoptourbus.com online. Check out the new design. It is super dope, and it is perfectly suited for the person that loves the Dead and the person that you love.
And maybe the person that doesn't love the Dead, because those designs are awesome. That Foolish Heart shirt is so beautiful. That's another great Valentine's gift.
So check it out, man. Like, you're not just buying them a shirt or a hoodie or a sticker. It's a little love bomb experience that's happening from Shop Tour Bus. It's a hand design.
Nice. It is a little love bomb.
It is. Mm-hmm. It's a hand design box with a Grateful Dead lyric on the inside. There will be no other box like your box.
Nope.
Then
it's special to you.
There's secret fun stuff inside the box other than the thing that you ordered.
It changes. Sometimes there's pencils, sometimes there's gum, sometimes there's taffy.
Certain people get miracled with a genuine Grateful Dead bootleg tape on the inside, so you never know how big that love bomb is going to be. So if you want to hook someone up with something awesome, go to @ShopTourBus on Instagram or shoptourbus.com online. And then when you're checking out, put in the promo code No Simple Road.
No Simple Road.
Why?
And they're going to give you free shipping.
Ooh.
Free shipping.
So check that out. All right?
Yay.
Go check it out. Take care of yourself and make sure that you hook the loved ones up in your life for Valentine's Day.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
No simple road. No simple road. No simple road. No simple road.
Schnoogans? What are you talking about, Apple?
Schnoogans.
You don't even know what you're saying anymore. You're just saying words.
No, that's a J in Silent Bob.
Hey, now.
Saying words is talking.
That's true.
Yes, thank you, Mel.
Well,
You're welcome.
I am consider me chastised. Hey now, No Simple Road family. How you doing, everybody?
Well, I never.
Yes, you have.
You must
Don't
not
try and lie.
You must not get out much. Oh.
This week, we have something special. You guys.
Oh, these are brand new.
Mel has a hole in her sock, everybody. I'm sorry, babe. That's terrible.
Well, it is Sunday. She's wearing a holy socks.
That's right.
Let me get
Sorry
back to
I interrupted the show
for
for
the
my
hole
holy
in her
socks.
sock.
Yeah, yes.
We have something special this week. Okay, let me back up. Slow down, Aaron. We got all the time in the world. We recorded this episode back in November, right, Apple?
Yeah, beginning November 7th.
We got backed up with episodes and have been wanting to put this out, and just had a line of interviews, which is a great thing to have happen for this show. But we recorded this back in November. I'm super excited to bring it to you. It's Duane Betts from the Allman Betts Band. And you know what, man? Not a nicer human being on the planet. Their band is fucking amazing. And you guys are going to hear some really cool stories in this interview, and come away with if you don't already have respect, a new respect or a bigger respect for Duane and what he's doing with his music and all of it.
Well, and what the Allman Betts Band is doing together. And to me, this came at there's some poignant things here that happen. We talked to Duane in the beginning of November. He was down at his dad's in Florida, hanging out, getting ready for Thanksgiving. Then we had the Owsley Foundation. We talked to them, which we put that episode out, which preserved some of the Allman Brothers Band performances and stuff. I got that CD set from Aaron and Melanie for Christmas. I've been listening to that. You know, these guys, they started the Allman Betts Band back in 2018, and it was formed to be kind of a tribute to the 50th anniversary of their fathers, in a way. So they came out with this, did some covers on the first album release of Down to the River, and then the new one came out beginning of 2020, right before all the COVID. Oh wait, no, August 2020. Bless Your Heart. And this stuff is awesome because you hear them, their father's influence, but then they also do some of their original stuff and put their flavor on it. And then they also grabbed Barry Oakley Jr., to do bass on this. So it's like, I mean, this Allman Brothers band thing is all throughout this. And like Aaron said, talking to Duane was a pleasure. He was just such a chill, interesting cat to get to spend a little bit of time with.
And it was really cool, man, I mean, we've said this a lot, but like one of the benefits of the quarantine, if there is a benefit, is the musicians that we speak to are in a different headspace than running around touring from show to show, festival to festival, tour bus, hotel room, blah, blah, blah. And so the headspace offers a completely different perspective of conversation. And I feel like that's what happened with Duane. He was relaxed at home. We talked about what your favorite meal or what your favorite dish from Thanksgiving is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So you guys are really going to dig this. But first, we have us on deck. So
we're on our own show.
This is No Simple Road, too. I'm going to start this week. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah, you always throw one of us out first. So, you go.
So,
okay, that was good.
All right, Mel,
he still appointed himself.
Yeah. Well, what do you want me to do? Next time I'll wait, and then
we'll be like,
"This is not a democracy."
No, a couple of things. So, we just had a conversation with Susanna Millman. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat.
Ribbit.
You like
Clior.
that? Yeah. If for those of you that don't know, Susanna is a photographer and has an amazing book on the Grateful Dead that is out now, and is the wife of the one and only Dennis McNally. And during that conversation, we talked about the lineage of the Grateful Dead and Garcia's influence a little bit. And had a realization during that conversation that really blew my mind. And it's so obvious. And I've even like said it, but didn't quite get it in the way that I got it today. And what I'm talking about is like in Eastern mysticism and like yoga and all that.
Well, you have to tell them the very beginning.
I'll get there. So there's like the yogic tradition, and like the one that everybody knows that comes to mind is like Ram Dass going and meeting Maharaji, and like the experience that he had the first time he met him. He was in this like field of unconditional love, and it altered the course of the rest of his life. And I've always seen that and been like, well, that's cool. Like, I wonder what that's like, and just thought it was.
You said you thought it was weird.
I did. It was strange to me because I've never experienced it. So I thought, and as we were talking to Susanna, and a couple of comments that Mel made me realize that that's what happened to me, at least in my opinion, when I went to my first Grateful Dead show. That like being in the presence of that unconditional field shook me out of myself, and like that Jerry and the band were the conduits to that, and that lineage has carried on, and it's nuts to think about it in that perspective. And even Allman Betts, there's an Allman Brothers lineage that's being carried on and carried down now, too. And to see it in that light, it's like this universal mind expressing itself that way and taking these different characters and putting them together, like Hunter Garcia or the Allman Brothers, and then it unleashes this like otherworldly power out into the world, and it changes people's lives for the better. And that's rad. That's super rad. So that's something that happened today that is, I'm still like kind of tripping out from it, realizing that. And it sounds so obvious now that I'm saying it, but I never ever thought about it like that. I never put it in those terms.
Well, what I said was Jerry is like the American yogi, or the, like
American
our
version.
Yeah,
of it.
the American version, and his yoga is the music. And because we were talking with Susanna, and she was mentioning like just how he was just new things, and people wanted to be around him, and he was just very self-aware. He was
the moment,
present, and all these things, which got me thinking of like all of the things that I learned, and all of the, when you start to do your craft, you really do have this like light shining from within, because all the breath work and working on your subtle body, and your spirit is being cleansed, and you're just all these things, and it really does give you an elevated feel, and people around you can feel it. And they talk about your auric field, and so Jerry having this strong auric field that pulled people in and just made people want to be around him
and felt comfortable and like seen and understood and spoken to.
Yeah, so just realizing that, and so saying that to you clearly made an impact, because it's, I mean, there's a lot of parallels there.
Yeah, it's nuts. And even with the Allman brothers, that carrying down that musical tradition as a lineage, and another generation of musicians going out and doing the thing. It's really rad to think about it like that. And like I said, I'm still kind of tripping out from it. And like over the past couple months, we've been talking about like how our week's been, and I've been having a difficult time and all that. And this week was not like that. It started off, if you listened to the show last week, I got a text or a DM from a friend, and what they said really made an impact on me. And then, this is going to sound stupid, but I realized how important exercise is today for me, like even more than I have ever known it before. Like here in Portland, they shut the gyms down back in November, and
they opened for like a brief time,
but they shut them back down. And and it was raining like almost constantly and cold out, so I wasn't able to go running, and I just kind of wasn't doing anything physical, and it really was affecting my head in a negative, really negative way. And so I spent some money on myself, and I bought myself a treadmill. And
he bought himself a Louis purse.
It did. I did. I hooked myself up, man. Fuck it. And it was, buying that thing, it may seem extravagant or unnecessary, but I'm going to tell you what, man.
Health is never unnecessary.
Fuck it. The minute I got on that thing, I remembered why I love running so much. And when I was done, it was like taking a shit after not taking a shit for 3 months. It was awesome. And
you also went through some trials and tribulations of getting the
I'm
damn
not going to
thing
get
here.
into that, man.
Apple, we can get into it later.
We'll just say he ordered this at the beginning of November, and
it came this week.
We just got it.
Yeah, anyway.
And when it was supposed to.
Jesus. Yeah, I had to go through what I needed to go through for whatever reason, man.
It made you appreciate it more.
It did, yeah.
It definitely made you appreciate it.
But I realized that this isn't new, but re-impressed on myself the importance of moving my body and how that's tied to the energy in me, and that shit gets stagnated, and then there's no movement in my thoughts and my mind and in my heart, and I start getting funky, and I try and do dumb shit like fucking, how is it a good idea to bake sweets every day? But I'm going to do that. Or,
and then not move.
Yeah. So, man, I'm grateful that I had the means to hook it up like that, and just glad that I'm moving again, and I can feel it. It feels better. And so I'm back. Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you. My name's Aaron. I'll be here all week.
He'll be more well adjusted and
Yeah,
everything.
hopefully
feeling good again.
My head will stay out of the dip for a little while this time. Anyway, who wants to go next? I won't assign it to anyone. I don't want to be a dictator.
I'll go. Well, what are we doing? Oh.
Whatever you want.
I forgot for
whatever you want. Apple. It's your turn.
I was gonna say I don't know. This week was one of those ones for me. It was just kind of non-eventful and really quick. It seems like we did our update date last Sunday for the latest episode we put out with Space Camp, and next thing you know, it's like bam, it's the weekend again, which in retrospect is a good thing. It was kind of non-eventful, just made it through it, and I don't know.
Are you having that experience of time plasticity?
Yeah, kind of like in a vacuum.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, just like boom, I already did just kind of autopilot, did everything, did well. But just like, oh my gosh, another week's gone by.
And then sometimes time goes so slow during the day, but the week goes by in a blink.
Like super fast.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. So I've been good this week. This weekend I've been feeling funky. I'll just throw that out there. It was stupid, and me and Ryder both ate some.
I'm going to tell on you.
Funky lasagna. Well, go ahead and tell on
it. Go ahead and tell on me.
This is a great...
You're the one.
I'm not the one.
No, you're the one that Simon cooked a lasagna Thursday night for us to have for dinner Friday night. And when I got up in the morning, the lasagna was still sitting out on top of the stove. So he cooked it, put it to cool, and didn't put it in the fridge. And I remember saying that to you. You're like, oh, it'll be fine.
Yeah, Apple's like, I'm in the kitchen making coffee. It's like 5:30 in the morning. And Apple's like, oh, you didn't put the lasagna in the fridge? And I was like, no, man. I'll put it in there now. And Apple's like, that shit's going to be funky. I was like, I'm not fucking eating it, but it should be fine. It just sat out for a few hours, dude. And he's like, how is it okay that it's going to sit out for a few hours and it's pork? And I was like, oh, hell, okay, well, whatever. I'm going to put it in the fridge because Simon made it. I'm not just going to throw it away. And then
Friday night,
Simon, this dumbass eats it.
Well, Simon came home and started eating some, so I ate some, and Ryder ate some, not knowing that it sat out. And it didn't have the best effect.
Tore you guys up.
Yeah, I did not take part in that.
Me either.
All.
No, so that happened. And it's still a little funky on Sunday, but I mean, like the highlight of the week was this weekend. Like Aaron said, we just talked to Susanna, which was a great conversation. And then yesterday we had a great interview too
with Leon the Third.
Yeah, it was just that's what's the special thing right now, because work is work, and this is more play.
I'm still laughing about the lasagna, dude, because last night we went out with Cody, and I told Cody, and he was...
I couldn't go out to dinner last night because I wasn't feeling good.
And Cody goes, dude, you did it perfect. You put it in the fridge right before it was dangerous, putting him in the hospital, but enough where there was active bacteria
to preserve.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry, brother. I love you, man.
But other than that, I'm just glad to be doing this show and talking to you people, and yeah, that's what I got.
That's right.
That's what I just am kind of like, bleh.
It's okay.
Sorry, everybody.
It's okay, dude.
Love you.
You're allowed.
We all have our meh.
No, I never
times.
been like that.
This week has been fine. I kind of feel like it's been just like a very long, short blurb. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's the time plasticity thing.
Yeah, the time has been a little bit weird. Those interviews, along with the one that we did with Jamel, really just made me feel so good about the content of our current show. With now we're in 2021, no concerts scheduled at all. We don't know when, so we're going off of a brand new slate. This is uncharted territory. Mm-hmm. And so I was just looking back and thinking back on the conversations that we've had thus far, and I'm like, that's awesome. I'm so glad to see it take a turn that we were forced to take, because now it's turning the show into something brand new.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that it's turning in, it's keeping its roots and growing into this unknown flower. And
totally.
So
And when things open back up and we're able to go to shows and festivals and all that again, we're going to have a whole new toolbox to do the show from.
It's going to be incredible, because the listeners that have been waiting to just go back to concerts, and we get to go maybe back east, if maybe this year, maybe not, maybe next year, whenever it happens, and meet these, our family. Like, it's just made me excited about the possibility of creating something that's not from you sitting on the porch. That was the root, but this is a whole new thing with me and you and Apple now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the beginning of all three of our show, instead of Aaron's cool one man, monologue.
One episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I see good things on the horizon, and I've been teasing this over the past few weeks, but we have an announcement coming for you guys. That's a big deal for No Simple Road, and I can't wait to tell you guys, man. It is.
But he's not going to tell you yet.
No, I can't tell you.
Build it up.
Suspense build.
I
Buttercup.
can't. No.
Just to let me down.
You build me up. No, I have news, but I can't. I'm not allowed to say anything yet.
But you're allowed to annoy them every week by
Yeah.
saying you're
By
not going to talk
building it
about
up.
it.
I
I've
sure
got
am.
something and you can't
I have a
taste it.
secret.
It's
Not
good.
yet.
It's
Tell you in a
really
few
good.
weeks.
Not yet.
But I'll tell you this: Osiris Media has a new show that's coming. I think it's February 3rd or 5th, one of those two. Can't remember the date. February. The three fish podcasts on Osiris are combining into one, and it's going to be called Undermine.
Undermine.
And super rad, man. What they're doing is they're taking the three shows and combining them, and like taking the format of each show, and each week will be sort of one of those formats. So, every week will kind of be a deep dive into a jam, and then another week is like unpacking the lyrics, and then another week is, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
That launches on Wednesday, February 3rd.
Okay, I was right the first time. So I'm super stoked that that's happening on Osiris, and having Oteil's podcast Comes a Time on the network is amazing, and Krasno's is amazing too, and I'm just super stoked to be part of Osiris, and that secret that I'm holding back is excited to tell you guys about it, man. I can't wait.
Good secret.
It's so good.
Oh.
But you know what? Let's go to do the business. You ready? Mel?
Wait, hold on.
What? You dusting off?
Yeah, okay.
You
Are
good?
you feeling like a pimp?
Yeah.
Straighten your tie.
Oh, let me pop my
Pop your
my
collar.
Okay, I'm ready.
Put in your grill.
Oh,
There we go. All right. No, you know what, man? I listened to a podcast with Adam Curry.
Oh, yeah. I'm still listening to it, and it's making an impact on me for sure.
So he has this. If you guys don't know who Adam Curry is, he used to be a VJ on MTV back in the day.
okay.
But
now I know the name.
he is one of the founding fathers of podcasting.
Who knew?
He was doing podcasts before it was called podcasting. That's how long he's been at it.
He helped create the RSS.
The enclosure tags for RSS feeds, and like this guy is like deep.
I didn't know what that meant, and now I do.
Yeah, and he has this thing called Podcasting 2.0, and if you're interested in it, go look it up, and it's a whole thing. But
The interview is on the Higher Side Chats.
well, he also does his own
No Agenda
podcast called No Agenda, and there also is a Podcasting 2.0 podcast.
Yes.
So you can go check those out. But my point was the interview with him gave me a different insight into having you guys as supporters of No Simple Road. So check this out. Right now, all of the venues are closed. There is no stage that's open anywhere with musicians on it unless they're doing a live stream. Right now, No Simple Road is a venue. This is where musicians are coming and you are able to see them and listen to them and interact with them digitally. Right now, we are the venue that's open. And when you guys support No Simple Road, that is you guys producing our show. You are actually like directly involved with the production of No Simple Road. You are keeping the doors to the virtual venue open when you support the show. It's not like I like Aaron Mellon Apple, so I'm going to give them $3 or whatever. It's you guys being a producer of content involved in the community that we're all a part of and making it possible for the venue doors of No Simple Road to stay open digitally so that more artists can come on, so that you can have new bands come to town and see them and hear them. All that stuff is digital right now, and that's who we are. So when I say in the business of the show, follow us on Instagram and go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. That is you becoming a producer of the show. You produce the show by donating money every month. You produce the show by sending us DMs and comments and suggestions of people you'd like to see on the show. You produce the show by telling us the stuff you like and you don't like about No Simple Road. You are involved in the creation of this thing as much as we are by being listeners and being a part of the community.
Well, and it gives us inspiration too, because like those letters or the monetary gifts that we get, it's like it creates this whole new slew of thoughts that we didn't have. So now this person is like, wow, Abigail is a freaking Chan donator. And so now I've been thinking about Abigail all week long because I've been making her a collage, and it really changes and adds to the show. So when he's talking about like producing the show, it's so true. Like you guys, our family members out there, do things like that, contribute to the show, then you become a part of our household.
Well, and think about it like this. Like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but like on TV, they would say like the movie of the week is brought to you by so-and-so. You remember
Swanson's
that?
Chicken Dinner.
So this episode of No Simple Road, the Allman Betts Band, Duane Betts, is brought to you by Abigail Hackman and Buzz and John B. and blah, blah, all of our Chan donators.
Yeah, by our Chan donators, right? No Simple Road Chan donators.
You guys are the ones that are bringing this to our community. We're
bringing this to you.
Right. We're just doing the work, but you guys are the ones producing the show. So I want you to think about it like that and then decide if you want to be involved more monetarily with No Simple Road. And if you do, you can go to patreon.com/No Simple Road and you can sign up there. And that's how you can monetarily keep the venue doors open and produce it financially with, there's a million ways to produce stuff. You time, your talent, your creativity, your finances. There's all kinds of ways to do it.
Your energy.
If you want to use your time.
Your attention.
If you want to use your time to produce No Simple Road, you can go over on Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review and a little blurb about why you love the show. And we'll read it on the air and make our hearts warm in the middle of winter when it's all cold outside.
Yeah, bring us some winter love. We haven't had one since November. But just saying,
I'm going to forgive you guys for December because it was the holidays and all that.
There's a lot going on.
Hey man, New Year, here we are. And if you're the one that's sitting there like, damn it, I was going to do that last week, pause the show right now. Go to your podcast app, hit the search, type in our name, go and leave a review, and then hit play again. Okay? I'm going to give you a second. Go ahead and do it.
Well done.
Did you do it?
I really enjoyed that review.
Thanks, you guys. I appreciate that. So, yeah, that's the business stuff. And I leave out the Facebook thing a lot because I forget. But you can follow us on Facebook at No Simple Road. And there is the No Simple Road family group. And I see people posting in there all the time. I unfortunately got blocked from posting again for some unknown post that I did something wrong, and I don't know what it is.
You don't have a reason?
No.
They didn't give you a sound
they don't give
reason.
you a reason. They just told me I'm fired for 3 days.
Which that's like being a little kid and you get in trouble. You go to your room for what? You know what you did.
Because
no, I don't.
said so. Yeah. It's so frustrating. Every time I log on there, they're like, you violated our guidelines. I'm like, I'm talking about fucking music. What did I do? I'm not on there like posting nudes or anything lately. But, I don't get it. So anyway, my point was the No Simple Road family group. If you're on Facebook, go over there. People are posting away, interacting with fellow No Simple Road family and all that. And
then there's the awesome and always interesting Tepid line.
Mm-hmm.
What's that number?
971-808-1524. That's 971-808-1524. And
operators are standing by.
Yeah, they are. They are actually physically standing by. They're at the payphone down in the
with
corner.
good work shoes.
Burnside and 3rd, standing by the payphone, waiting for you to call. And it's cold out there, so why don't you call so that they can use their hands, because it's cold out and their hands are getting cold. And when they pick up the phone, then the blood flow starts. So
yeah, then it's not so cold,
right? Yeah. So we love you guys, man, and we're not gonna drag this out. We're gonna get you to the interview. So, without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Duane Betts
from the Allman Betts Band. don't everybody talk at once. It's a talkative bunch here.
Blah, 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 blah. Oh.
Saving my words.
You're saving it. For what?
For later.
To talk to Duane?
We have 2 interviews today, so I'm saving it up.
Don't save it.
You can let it go now.
Yeah.
We're recording.
Have it happen. Now's the time. Yeah, we're going to call Duane Betts from the Allman Betts band. You know? I'm just saying. No big deal. Just hanging out on a Saturday.
Yep. It's a beautiful Saturday. The fall full effect is in the air with the leaves, red and orange and yellow and green. And
Hey, hello.
Duane.
Hey, Aaron.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm doing pretty well, man.
1 second. Let me get situated here.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I'm Aaron, and we also have 2 others here.
hi, Duane. This is Melanie. How are you?
Melanie. Hi, Melanie.
Yeah.
And hi, Duane. This is Apple. And thank you very much for giving us some of your Saturday here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So what's going on, Duane? What are you doing today?
Oh man, just watching the election results.
Watching
And,
the insanity unfold.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good day, but
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, watching a little. Actually, I just got finished doing yoga a little bit ago. I did some yoga. I'm in Florida, actually, at my dad's house. I'm visiting, so
Oh,
I have
sweet.
like a little screened-in porch on the, for the guest house, has like a little screened-in porch, and so my wife put on a class on the computer, and we mustered up the strength and the fortitude to convince ourselves that we'd feel better if we did it. And
Did it work?
and so yeah, I mean, you always know it works. It's just a matter of making yourself do it. Like when you're on, because we're kind of like on vacation, but we're not here for like 5 days. We're spending like most of November here, so it's we're living here basically, so it's like, let's just do it.
Right? Yeah, it does really. It's a trip. I mean, it totally makes sense, man. Like your mind and your body are definitely connected. It's one thing. So when you start moving around, it does make your head feel better. It's just a fact.
No, I feel better after I do it.
Yeah, for sure. And so you're down there for all of November, and Apple was just commenting that like
You got a bunch of shows coming up there. That first thing.
We have a few. We're not doing a bunch of shows, I wouldn't say, but we're doing a few shows. We just did 8 shows. I think it was 8 shows. 7 or 8. We started up in Connecticut at South Farms, and it was good. I mean, obviously there's concern with what's going on and everything, so we don't want to do anything reckless. So it's kind of a test, but for the most part, I mean, everybody made efforts. I mean, some places obviously are more cautious than others, and that's just the way it is if you want to do it. But I mean, none of them are free. Nothing was close to a free for all,
right?
So.
It was cool to see, like, the video that we were just watching before we called you was
the Connecticut show.
Yeah, and hearing crowds cheering after a song. I took that for granted, man. Like, hearing that at the end of a song is a big deal. And you guys played some drive-in shows, right?
Yeah, we did in the summer, I think. Look, thinking back, I don't know if it was August. I think it was August. We did one. We did a run, like a weekend of drive-in shows. I think we played 3 different places, and they were cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's safe, and obviously it's not what you're used to. It's weird, but it's cool that they figured it out, and it's like a progressive way to do a show during a pandemic. But the first one was odd because there was no PA, and because on the other side of the tree line of the just on the other side of the property were houses, like rich people in Cape Cod.
What?
And so they were like, man, we almost got the plug pulled, and is there any way we can like go down in volume even more? What you guys, and we're like, look, we'll do whatever. We haven't played in 6 months. Like, we'll do whatever it takes.
Right.
Let's just do the show. We don't want to mess it up for the other folks that are coming in. But yeah, I mean, that stuff's a little weird. I mean, I'm used to just turning my amp up to where I want it to be, which is usually all the way up. And doing it, you know. But no, the other ones were great. And like I said, the shows on this last run were really cool. I'm pretty picky. Like, I don't want to, you know, there's conversation to be had about what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do, and what's, you know, that kind of stuff is more sensitive. But you know, I mean, it's not, I wouldn't be out there if I didn't see a bunch of my friends doing it, you know.
Right. And we're in a unprecedented moment in the
world. And also,
bro.
you gotta, you know, there's an argument for both. I mean, you gotta put food on the table, you know, so to speak. You know, within reason. I mean, you don't, you know, I mean, there's progressive ways of thinking, and there's, you know, there's ways to do it, and there's venues that were on this run that were really, really progressive. In Atlanta, we played like a 4,000 seat venue, which would be too big for us normally if it was just us on the bill.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the capacity, so you sell that at like, I don't know, I'm not good at math, but 20% or 25% of 4,000 or what. Anyway, you put 800 people in a 4,000 seater,
mm-hmm.
and you pot it, and you let everybody in, and they sit with the people that they've been hanging with, like, anyway, that they bought tickets with, and then you get them, you know. So that was like really cool. You know, nice stage. It was at the Roxy, the Coca-Cola Roxy in Atlanta.
That by itself is weird. The Roxy was like the most punk rock weird thing ever. Now it's Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it was kind of like, it was right next to the ballpark. I mean, it was a really nice stage, and it was a really cool staff and setup and everything. I mean, you know, obviously the name is not the, you know.
I get you. It's just
kind of like Disney World. It's kind of like maybe a little sterile or whatever, but it was a really fun night. I mean, we literally got through the set list, and Devin and I looked at it. You guys, man, this set list is too short. Let's add this.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then, I mean, we do that a lot, but normally the set list isn't too short. Well, you know, there'll be audibles and stuff, you know, we'll write up a set list. But on this night, it was like, I forgot what he said. He looked at me, he's, man, let's just keep going. Let's I think we did like a 6-song encore, because we were trying to hit 3 hours, and he thought we were closer than we were, so we ended up not hitting 3 hours, but we got to like 2:45. I mean, it was like literally like a 6-song encore, and, you know.
I don't know, man. So, I haven't been to a show since the beginning of March, so I would be.
You forgot about.
I would be really happy to see a 2-hour 45-minute show at this point, man. You know, no, it's tough, bro. Because as music fans, people that are the ones watching what you guys do, we're used to a certain feeling in the room too, and so I get that we're in this weird moment, and we're all trying to figure out how to continue to see the stuff that we love, and you guys are trying to figure out how to play and do the work that you do. But is it, when you get in a venue like that's a 4,000 seat venue, and it's sold at 25% capacity, and people are in pods, and they're only allowed at their table, like, what is the difference in the energy in that? Is it completely different for you playing up there with that?
Man, well, I think you have to put into the equation, like, yeah, the energy was really good that night.
Okay.
You know, it was really good. They weren't, you know, it wasn't like a drive-in where the first cars are 20 feet away and the lights, you can't even see anything. And it wasn't, some of them have been really weird, I'll be very honest. Cool. But that night, the energy was what I wanted to see. I don't want to see an 800 cedar packed. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, so it was like, it just felt great that night, you know, and there was space, and they really did a great job. And so, and the energy was good. I mean, we get quiet, and they were responding, you know, and everybody was fired up that night. I mean, it was a good night.
Yeah, man. Getting out and doing it is the thing that is it right now. Just however we could do it safely and make it happen.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, I think there's a way to do it, and hopefully it'll get better sooner than later, and get closer to normal. I mean, you know, that's a whole, you know, that's a whole other thing that we don't need to get into politically and all
I'm
that.
with you, bro.
And then people are like, well, if you look at the stats, and they cite some thing, and then it's like a whole,
we have
go down that wormhole. Don't want to do that.
Right. But I'm with you. No, man, it's awesome to see it happening, period. And for me, man, watching you guys, it's a trip, because you hear like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And for me, like, my dad was a movie producer and in the entertainment industry, and always was like hustling and moving and shaking and doing his thing. And I never thought that I would grow up and be doing the same thing that he did. And now, I mean, of course it's not the same thing, but I'm in that business all of a sudden. And not to mention, like, I look like him a little bit. I sound like him a little bit. Like, you can't run away from your DNA. And for you, man, that it's so much a part of who you are, that you grew up in the world. And so I'm curious with you, man, like, through this pandemic and all the shit that's gone down, and being forced to stop for a period of time, has it changed your perspective on how you feel about making music or your approach to doing it?
That's a good question. I mean, it just definitely gave me a time to reset and connect with, you know, family and nature, and take a breath and sit still. And I wrote some songs. You know, I mean, obviously we'd been writing for the record, the first record, and then the second record, but those are kind of collaborative efforts, which is awesome. It's just different than sitting and waking up every day with your coffee by yourself and writing and working on songs. So I was able to do that. You definitely, you know, sometimes you can focus on, man, you know, I don't know, you can get in your head about stuff and think that something is, you can take it for granted, you know? And I think you definitely, when you have it taken away, you see, man, we have a really good thing, and a good group of people, you know, which is really important. And everybody is in it for the right reasons, and everybody wants to make it work, and we're really fortunate. And I think that becomes more in your face, you know, when you can't do it.
Right.
You know, Devin got sick. We were in Europe, and towards the end of, it was either August or September. I want to say August or July. I don't know. But in 18 or wait, 19, I don't even know. Not this summer, but the summer before. He just had to be hospitalized, and so we had to cancel our last 4 or 5 shows over there and fly home. And then we also had to cancel a few weeks back in the United States. And that was the same thing, but different, because someone was obviously, I mean, he's fine, and it was all good. It was worked out, but I felt really bad for him on that one.
Yeah.
But this is none of us were in had a health problem or an accident or like broke our arms or anything like that. But yeah, I think a lot of people just are ready to, you know, to see live music, and, you know, when it's the right time to do it. I mean, at the level that it was being done, then we'll do it, you know. But until then, I mean, we just have to kind of like build up to the crescendo, I feel like.
Totally. And finding how to get back to whatever the new is the thing. And I think you hit the nail on the head though, because even for us, it's the same thing, man. Like having something taken away through no fault of your own. I equate it to like being a little kid and having your favorite toy that you always play with, and then your mom comes in the room and just snatches it out of your hands and you didn't do shit. And you're like, but wait, I love that thing. And you appreciate it in such a new way when it's gone.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. I must say, I think I was pretty accepting of it. I was like, okay, you know, let's see what happens. I really was, I was bummed, you know.
Right.
I was bummed like when I was like thinking, didn't realize how serious it was. And I was like, what? We're not going to be able to do this? Like, once it was just like, no one's doing anything, I just was like, okay, you know, let's hang out and wait, you know, and I was okay with it. I got to spend time with my wife and my puppy and see him, you know, my little golden doodle I have. And I got to spend a lot of time with him in his first year, where I would have been like gone most of the time. And so I got to see him grow and, you know, go hiking a lot. You know, I spent most of the summer in Jackson, Wyoming, Jackson Hole.
Mm-hmm.
So I lived there part-time. So it was, you know, valuable time and good, you know, time well spent, I guess they would say.
Well, I mean, your entire, I mean, from, I don't know, but it sure seems like most of your life has been spent either touring or playing somewhere or on the road. I mean, even as a kid, before you were playing music, you were on the bus, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so is this the first time that you've had a chance to like be normal?
Well, no. I mean, I haven't spent my whole life on the road or anything.
Okay.
But I did spend a lot of time on the road. I was homeschooled from about let's see, from 8th grade through high school. I was homeschooled, so I was like pretty much on everything that they were doing, that my dad's band was doing. Before that, right. You know, they got back together in '89, so it was like a few weeks, and it was like the summers for '89, '90, and then from like, you know, then '91 through like '96, '97, around there, I was pretty much like out. Like I was there, but they, you know, they weren't touring like year round though. They were doing spring, summer, some fall, then take the winter off, and you know. But yeah, I mean, in my 20s and stuff, I toured, but I wasn't nothing like what we're touring now with the Allman Betts band. I mean, we tour a lot, and it's, you know, it's basically the lifeline of the band.
Right,
you know?
right,
like,
yeah.
We're a touring band. I mean, I guess we could tour a little less, but I mean, we don't. You know, I don't want to go out and just stay out for like months on end without coming home. But, you know, you take breaks, like a week here, a week there. But I mean,
well, that's the name of the game. I mean,
I mean, that's what everybody that's what everybody in that, you know, in that kind of world does, you know? Yeah.
And being out like that. I mean, in talking to so many musicians, one of the things that, at least I've learned talking to you guys, is that it's not easy. From our perspective, it seems like this glamorous, super fun lifestyle, and it can wear on you, man. And you need those moments of relief and pressure release of just sleeping in your own bed for a few nights and seeing familiar faces. You know, I can't imagine just being out like that all the time.
You get used to it.
Do you really? Does it become like second nature after a while?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like once you're there, you kind of get into a mode, and you're in your routine, and it's not, I don't know. I make a joke, like we'll go out, like that run we just did was like a week or 10 days or whatever. And when it's done, I feel the same way. I feel like, oh man, you know, I'm wasted from the road, you know, I can't wait. You know, it's like you go out for like a long weekend. I feel kind of the same way when I get home from doing like a month and a half. I feel like, man, my bed. But no, I mean, once you get out there, there's kind of a rhythm to it. And I mean, I love being on the bus, you know, the rolling down the highway and being in my bunk and, you know, the rhythm of that, the travel, waking up in a new place every morning and playing music every night. I mean, it's just kind of, it's what I feel like I was meant to do. You know?
Was there ever a time when you thought like, I'm going to do something else? This music thing's bullshit and I'm going to be a baker.
Not really. No, I kind of wanted to be a drummer. I was a drummer when I was really young. And I just wanted to, you know, I think when I was in 4th or 5th grade, I wanted to grow up and be Lars Ulrich, which is
me too, man.
Which is kind of like, now I'm like, you know, well, he's kind of, you know, I mean, Metallica's awesome and everything, but they were like my favorite band in 5th grade, and I was like into Maiden, and then I mean, I was into all kinds of stuff. I wasn't just, but I was really into like Maiden and Metallica, and then I kind of switched. You know, I got a little older, and then like Nirvana and all that stuff. But anyway, I've always, you know, I've always been a musician. I mean, from the time I was in elementary school, and then I switched to guitar when I was 13. Kind of like slowly switched over, and. His guitar, when I was really young, my dad put a guitar in my hands, and it was, you know, it was a smaller guitar, obviously, but he was trying to show me like how to fret and stuff, and I just was like, I want to play drums, but
I want to hit stuff.
But yeah, I mean, I think I don't know, I never really considered it. I mean, I guess I thought about it, but once it bit me, once I found out that what I could express and that it felt the way it felt that I was communicating, you know, I just kind of was like, well, I think this is what I'm probably best at, so I'll stick with this.
It's nuts, man. It really is. Like, I was just telling Mel last night, so during the pandemic, I've always fooled around with the guitar. Like, I've had a guitar since I was a little kid, but I'm not, by no means am I a guitar player. I'm a campfire guitar guy. And during the pandemic, I've been playing a lot. And I was telling her last night, I was like, it feels so different playing now. It come like, because there's not as much distraction, it's coming easier, if that makes any sense. And I was thinking,
makes total sense. That's how I felt when I was 13. I started hearing stuff, and I could tell. I was like, oh, this is coming to me, and I know. I learned how to play like Wild Thing, so then I'd hear like other songs that had like the same intervals, and I could like recognize what, you know, there's only 12 notes. So,
I said that almost exact same thing to her last night. I was like, I'm hearing the same shit over and over again everywhere. It's like the same notes over and over. Like, yeah. But I was thinking about something that I wanted to ask you in this. So like, I learned a Neil Young song, right? And I'm singing the Neil Young song, and I'm playing, and I was thinking to myself, like, these aren't my lyrics, but I'm singing it. And if I'm playing something that somebody else wrote, obviously it's not mine. I'm doing a cover, right? And when you're playing and singing something that you've written yourself, that's your emotion, your soft parts being exposed to the world out there. And there's a vulnerability and you have to kind of be fearless to do that in a lot of ways. And when you're playing somebody else's song, with you, how do you approach making that thing yours?
That's a good question. I mean, honestly, sometimes I think you can overthink it and think, well, I can't do it. I won't be able to do it as good as they did it, because I think if you just love a song and you connect with it and it means something to you, then you can transmit that energy. I mean, obviously there's certain things that maybe you're out of your wheelhouse, that maybe you could sing it your own way.
Right.
You don't have to try to mimic whoever's singing it, but I mean, singing really to me is kind of a new thing, really.
Really?
Relatively new. Yeah. I was a guitar player for a long time, and I wrote some, and but I never was like singing. The first time I started really singing in front of people, like at gigs, was probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Wow.
So, well, I don't know. I'm not really. I mean, with singing, you don't have to be like a great like singer. You just have to tell your story and have it really sound real and be authentic about what you're saying. And I think that's what a lot of my heroes do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Dylan taught us that. And
well, yeah.
I don't think anybody's listening to jam bands for the vocal range and ability. Like, I don't think that's happening, man. I know for sure I'm not.
Yeah.
Who besides Metallica, who are some of the people that turned you on?
Oh, I mean, that was just in the middle of it. I mean, I would say, that was just a phase. Metallica isn't a phase. I mean, they're a great.
I hear you, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what do you mean, like the earliest stuff that I was listening to?
Yeah, like those memories. Yeah.
I remember jamming to.
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
I mean, Run DMC comes to mind. I
really?
was really into Run DMC. I don't know. I was into like rap, and I was into like Van Halen. And when I was like 5 or 6, I was into Van Halen, I think. And I was into, like, I think I liked the Scorpions. And then I got into like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin and the Doors and Jimi Hendrix and the Sex Pistols and the Cure and all that stuff was kind of around a little later. But
how old are you?
I am 42.
Oh, okay. So because you're telling mine and Apple's story right now. You're talking about my musical history as well.
Yeah.
And growing up with that stuff, I think for me at least, the thing that opened my eyes to a wider scope of music, because I was like really hardcore into punk rock and metal in junior high school and high school.
Yeah.
And then psychedelics came into the picture. And I was like, oh shit, there's this whole other thing happening that I haven't been paying attention to.
Yeah.
And that's when the Doors and Pink Floyd and all that came into being.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have the Doors catalog or Pink Floyd's catalog when I was like in 3rd grade, but right. I think I saw The Wall, and I think The Wall was the first one I got, and it gave me nightmares. I remember that. It was an older kid that turned me on to it. Actually, I think it was Greg's son Elijah, his son with Cher, that I think was the first person that introduced me to that movie. And he actually would have these mixtapes that would have, like, I remember going to Disney World in the mid 80s, and he had the Sex Pistols and the Doors and the Cure like back to back to back, and and obviously my dad's music was around. I remember listening to the Fillmore and and then I just started getting into everything, blues and soul music. In 8th and 9th grade, I'd say, is when I was listening to, like, the current stuff, like Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins. I was a big Billy Corgan fan.
Right.
When I was, a teenager, but I was listening to jazz and blues and soul music and sitar, Ravi Shankar. I was really trying to listen to a lot of different stuff by then. So,
damn, that was a heater.
Separate.
I got the chills.
Oh,
but you're all sweaty.
Out. Time to chill. And you know what?
What? Chicken butt.
The lights are coming on, so let's turn on this light.
What?
You ever listen to the Allman Betts band?
Out of a horse head?
That you got from Electric Fish Lights?
Shit. We have.
You guys go over to @electricfishlights on Instagram or electricfishlights.com online.
Do it.
Your mind is going to explode with light, color, sound, and fun. This is lights made from IQ technology. It's a system made of 30 interlocking pieces that can be configured into 15 different shapes. And when you add more pieces to the shapes, they are endless. You can have endless shapes. No, what they do is they build these amazing lights with your direction. So basically you tell Electric Fish Lights, hey, I want a SpongeBob SquarePants light, or I want a sloth, or a jellyfish,
or a minion,
or whatever.
Whatever.
Or your favorite sports team too. They've got those, and they take this IQ technology, they create these lights, and they put a bulb inside of it, and they can even do 2 bulbs, like a color changing bulb, a Bluetooth bulb, all kinds of cool stuff that they do. All lights are made from upcycled vinyl like milk jug plastic. They come with a 12-foot cord, a 12-year energy efficient, safe to leave on LED bulb, and a hardware kit to hang the light. You can use this shit outside. You can use it inside. You can use it upside. You can use it downside.
Very versatile.
Yeah. And
you can use it in the bus or in the train.
You can use it on a plane or in your brain. You know what, man? What you do is you order a light from them. You get the color changing upgrade, and Electric Fish Lights are going to hook you up with a limited edition special promotional No Simple Road poster for getting that color changing upgrade. That's right. So go over to @electricfishlights on Instagram or electricfishlights.com online, and when you check out, put in the promo code NSR, and you're going to get 10% off your purchase. You're going to be supporting a lovely, wonderful member of the No Simple Road family, and you're going to be lighting up your life with some magic and some flashy color, wonderful thing goes on. So go hook it up, man. And then after you order your light, if you're here in Portland, jump in your little car mobile and drive over to one of the 2 locations of Define Premium Cannabis. There's one in Hillsborough and one in Forest Grove. And Define's mission is to match you with the cannabis product that you need, not the cannabis product that is going to make them the most money. That's not the mission of Define. The mission of Define is to hook you up with the thing that you need to take care of yourself, man. This is medicine. And in Oregon, we have some of the best damn medicine around.
And guess what? You come visit, you make sure that you mention you are a listener of No Simple Road, and you will get 10% off your purchase.
10%.
This is not just the first time you come in. Remember to keep mentioning that. You will get 10% off each time. The first time, though, you will get a free t-shirt thrown in there.
Yep. And if you go to the Hillsborough location Monday through Friday,
I'm going to do something.
You ask for Apple, he comes out of the back dressed like a trucker. And he honks a big old horn, and when he honks that horn, the correct cannabis product for you falls off the shelf into your hands.
And I'll be playing the song Convoy in the dispensary.
All you old people know what he's talking about right there. So check it out, man.
You old people.
Well, like, I'm old. I get it.
Experienced smokers is what we do have an experienced smoker discount also.
What?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
What? How much is the experienced smoker discount?
It's 10%.
Okay. All right. I like knowing that.
So you can be an experienced smoker or No Simple Road.
And if you're a veteran, you
member.
get 15%. We got lots of discounts.
See, man, they got you covered. And if you're one of those people that gets overwhelmed when you go into a dispensary, check this out. Think about this. You listen to us every week. I've heard from multiple listeners that they say they feel like they know us. Well, you know Apple. So now you have a friend in the cannabis business. So you can go in there, ask for Apple. He's going to come out of the back, dress like a goldfish or whatever, and you can
Tend
feel
your bud.
comfortable having Apple tend your bud. So one location in Hillsboro, one in Forest Grove. They're going to hook you up and take care of you. They have every cannabis product under the sun. Check them out. Define Premium Cannabis. Let's get back
Lights are going down.
to the show.
Smoke some of this cannabis. Turn off the lights.
It's a trip how the arc of the musical journey is like that. Like the influence is so strong in what you guys are doing now, and you can hear so much in it. It's really rich, the sound that you guys create, and it's
Cool.
It really is, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Did you hear the record, the new record?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is.
Did you like the 13-minute instrumental?
Bro, it's
Well,
amazing.
The album is amazing, and then to get to hear it all, that's one thing I love about YouTube. Somebody posted that Connecticut show, pretty good shot of it in HD. To see you guys, me and Aaron say, like now you're taking those songs and you're taking them out for a walk, and like adding that spice to it.
That was like the 5th time we ever played it. Probably was that take. That's a live take. Everything's
Shit.
my solo's live, like everything's live on it. And we could have kept doing it, but it felt good, and we didn't. I mean, you always know it's gonna expand once you start playing it every night live, but which is okay. I mean, there's a lot of versions of songs, and then you hear a live version that's like the Allman Brothers. Listen to In Memory of Elizabeth Reed on the record, then listen to it at the Fillmore.
Fillmore, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the record version's not good, but yeah, I thought it was a really cool take, and everybody played really beautifully on it. And I don't know, I'm really proud of the record. I think we're getting some good airplay with Magnolia Road. And so yeah, I'm just super, super thankful, and always looking to spread the good energy, and go out and play for folks and make them escape their worries or their daily stresses. I think that's what my dad always kind of preached, what that band was about. They didn't get too political on stage and tell people who they should vote for or anything. Just let everybody be them, and as long as everybody's got love in their heart, that's all we require,
Right? Yep, that's it. Are you kind?
To me, that's what you guys.
As long as everybody's cool and you don't have mean-spirited folks, then it's all good. But yeah, I mean, it's just a really cool thing to feel like you're, once you put out a couple records, and it's like, it's okay if I feel really comfortable saying it feels really good to carry on that tradition. Totally. Whereas like if we were playing a bunch of their songs and not making double albums, like we just made a 13 song double album,
right?
So then I probably wouldn't feel as comfortable about saying that, but it's true. I love that spirit of playing outdoors and seeing people dance and stuff is it's how I grew up,
Right.
Well, that's what you guys provided, keeping that tradition. To me, it's like home cooking. It's just comfortable wherever you put it on.
We try. I mean, obviously we're not trying to be our dad's band is, obviously like the greatest band ever, or
right?
Yes.
No, not the greatest band ever, but they're literally like one of the greatest bands. I mean, they're so I don't think there'll ever be another band quite like that in that way, I should say.
No, does that ever?
Man, you just do what you do. It's special.
Fuck yeah, it is. It's very special, man. And in that, has it ever made you feel pressure to carry that thing on, like that?
When I was younger, yeah, like when I was mixed up and didn't really know what my next step was, and I was struggling with addiction, you know, whatever I was going through, and I kind of was a little stagnant and not knowing where I was going next. I was like starting to, you know, I could put pressure on myself unnecessarily.
I can't even imagine. Like you just said, you know, from the fans' perspective, they're part of the Mount Rushmore of music, as far as a lot of us are concerned. And then here you are, like showing up, and people are weird, man. They project their bullshit outwardly, and just a lot.
Well, people are really protective, you know. It's like people that love, without going too far into it, I mean, there's people that might, I don't even pay attention to any of that stuff, but I mean, I don't see it, you know, but
right.
I mean, I have seen stuff where people are like, well, I like this person, I like that person, or they're not their dads or this, and like, yeah, damn right, we're not our dads.
That's good.
Know? But yeah, I mean, some of that's just because people love that band so much, and rightfully so, that they're just like, they want it to be like we're trying to be like them, and we'll never be them, but I don't know. I don't want to put words into people's mouths, because I'm really pretty disconnected to that, because I don't live in that world. I mean, I'm not even really on Facebook, really. I mean, I mean, I'm on Facebook, but I'm not literally, like, I don't live on it, you know?
It's a weird thing to be disconnected from that now.
Well, I'm not
disconnected.
Tough. What I mean is I'm on Instagram, and I share everything to Facebook, and I don't like.
Oh, okay.
I'm on Instagram, and so everything, like, I post to Facebook, but I'm not active on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that tends to be where more of that noise is, you know,
Yeah.
on people's on people's like personal accounts and stuff. It's like, it gets crazy, and I'm just like, oh man, I don't want to deal with that. But
yeah, keeping your, we were just actually talking about this last night, being responsible for your own programming, like not allowing the world to program who you are, but like being responsible for your fucking head, man. And
have you seen the doc?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you got to see it. It's really amazing. I'm not going to go into it because I'll do a really horrible job of explaining it. But it's about it's about social media and how, like, we are the currency. Like, we are more valuable when we're invested into it. Like, and when we leave, if we're not, like, always, what's the word I'm looking, like, if we're engaging with the apps, with, you know, these apps, there's more money. So when we're away, you know, so basically it's like this addiction thing. You'd have to watch this.
I'm going to watch it. Yeah, totally going to sit
down. It's really
down.
amazing. Yeah.
I seen the preview. It's the one that has like a bunch of insiders from tech that like help create stuff, and
they're all like, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, definitely. You just gave us our movie night for this weekend. Thanks, man. You know, sitting down to write music in a climate like right now is nuts. The art of being able to take how you feel and put it on paper is a thing. And then being able to sonically paint that picture is this beautiful talent that you have. And for you, man, when you're writing stuff, how do you approach that?
The process?
Yeah, as far as the process
I'll usually just pick up a guitar and the melody will come, and sometimes I'll just hit record and sometimes I'll sing a verse, and most of that will be a verse, and most of the time it's not the verse, but it's something that, if it ends up being something, then I can tell if it's something to build off of. I mean, I think, I don't know, man. I'm not like, I'm probably not the best at explaining, but when I write, I mean, I really have to feel like there's something that needs to come out. You know, I can tell if I'm just kind of doing something and it feels like, wow, this is something, or if I'm just doing something that's like, you know, this is I'm passing time, you know?
Right.
But a lot of times it's when I'm writing by myself is what I'm talking about. When I'm collaborating, it's a totally different thing because I have, you know, a partner, and in the process for these records, we had Stahl Vaughn as well, who's a really good friend of Devin and mine, Devin's and mine, but he's a really great kind of mediator between Devin and myself, and I trust him a lot. So when there's three guys, if you know, if I'm like, somebody's not sure about my idea, or I'm not really sure about someone else's idea, if there's two other guys that you trust that are like, no, man, this is good, then it helps. But so with that stuff, I mean, I do a lot of kind of the architecture, like bring in a riff, like have a chorus line or a melody, and then it's like, okay, let's build it. Like, here's the lumber, I have this idea, I kind of have an idea for a song. Now we need to really turn this thing into a song, and here it is. And then sometimes I just let them, they'll write the rest of the words, and I'll just kind of be like, yeah, that's great. Or sometimes I'll write a verse or two and have the song, like Rivers Run from the record I wrote, and then I brought it into Stahl, and he was like, I love it. And then he made some switches on it, and it was, you know, it was better. It had definitely gone up a step, and
wow.
And I was like, okay, so yeah, I mean, I could, you know, sometimes when it's pretty apparent that someone brings a great idea in and make it better, you don't say, well, I want to write the song by myself. You say, man, that just made it so much better. But the stuff that I write by myself, I mean, like in June and July when I was writing in Jackson Hole, I just got, you know what? I just felt like I got lucky, and I mean, no one's ever heard the songs, but they'll make it on something.
Yeah,
and
I was going to ask.
I just felt like the spirit came over me, and I said what I needed to say. I got some stuff out. That's all it is saying what you need to say and feel like you're saying something that you need to say. That's the best way I can put it.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that sums it up really well. And in having guys that are collaborating with you, I think maybe it would help stop you from second guessing yourself, or and on the flip side of that, catch you when you're blowing it. You know what I mean?
Well, it goes both ways. I mean, the you know, I mean, on the Allman Betts, on the Bless Your Heart record, on both records, but I'll say Bless Your Heart. I mean, I had an idea for Pale Horse Rider, that kind of really descending kind of Neil Young, Crazy Horse kind of riff on Pale Horse Rider.
Okay.
I had that, and then, you know, Devin had this other thing that turned into the intro. Then he just really steered the arrangement on that song, and I was like really impressed with where he went with it, because we were kind of like talking, well, let's not do verse chorus. Let's like be a little more creative than that. And this song, but I mean, he just went and really led the charge on doing an unorthodox arrangement on that song.
Right.
And so it's just, every song is different. Some songs somebody brings in, or, you know, I mean, you know the deal. So
right.
It's different.
You're not one of the, because I hear people say, I woke up in the morning and the whole song was there. I woke up and I wrote the whole thing down. Like, has that ever happened for you?
It's been close. There's like when it just, the spirit comes over you.
Yeah.
You feel it when the spirit comes over you. And sometimes it's you can just get a lot in a really short period of time, you know.
What is that? What is that spirit, man?
I don't know. It's just you attaching to something that is in you that you need to say. I don't know, that it's a place of that's like a real place, a pure place that you're in, and you know you're saying something that needs to get out, and you just it can be really simple. I mean, it can just be like you know, just line after line is this. I need to say this,
right?
It's done, you know. Or you can you know, you can labor over it more, and that happens too. But
right. That muse is it's like this elusive
yeah, I don't know.
thing.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm not a, you know, I mean, I've definitely written some songs, and I'm proud of a lot of them, but I'm not like a prolific, you know, I'm not one of those guys that can just write 3 songs a day, like,
right.
Like, you know,
it's just all pouring out all the time. Yeah. It's work. But that's kind of the fun of it, isn't it? Like being able to get it out like that, and then see it and be able to enjoy it too. Like that's part of the fun. I mean,
it is work. So it's like, it's really easy to get, you know, you got to travel and you got to go do this. And then, you know, it's really easy to get out of that, that focused mode. And then it's kind of, okay, well, where do I slip back in, you know? So it's not just like, yeah, you got to sit down and take the first step to do it, you know?
Right.
Like with me, you know, like tomorrow I should bring out my voice memos and open the notebook, and that would be enough to initiate the process to get back into it, you know? I mean, I'm always coming up with stuff, picking up a guitar and humming a melody. I mean, I had something going an hour and a half ago. I was like, oh, this is cool. But as far as like the notebook out on the table, you know, all the scribble, you know, crossing out lines, adding new ones, you know, all of that stuff, to where it's just like there overnight and it just stays there to where you come back to it every day. That's like really when it's good for me.
Yeah.
And you can't always do that, you know?
No, that's like the lightning in a bottle thing. But showing up is part of the deal. Like you said, opening the notebook and putting yourself in the position to let the thing happen. It's not a guarantee that the thing is going to happen. It's just, I'm here and I'm available. And if you decide to show up, cool. And if not, well, I'm still here anyway.
Yeah, you're at least you're trying, you know.
Right. Right. But the bass player for Humphreys McGee, Ryan Stasek, he says persistence, not perfection, and that's been something that's stuck with me. Is like, yep, I'm just going to keep showing up and be persistent, and it doesn't have to happen every time, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, I could go into a long discussion about. I mean, it's like I can be like, it's okay that you didn't write a song, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I was talking about that with somebody where it's like, you know what, you just pick up the guitar, you know, and get your hands moving. You don't have to, you don't have to write a song that you like every day, but you know, if you're trying, if it comes, it comes, you know. So I don't know. I don't get too hung up on it. But.
Right. And in playing with Devin, I mean, you guys have a lifetime of history together, and there's a bond that goes beyond music, I would think, with you guys. And well,
yeah, I mean, there's a sense of pride that we have, you know, from, you know, our fathers worked really hard. I mean, both of them, and made great music together and separately, and everything else. And they wrote great songs, and so we really have a bond, and Barry as well, you know. But yeah, I mean, we kind of grew up around each other. We never lived in the same city. I mean, I have to kind of, we both have to clarify, because some people are like, oh, you guys must have, you know,
played together all the time.
Together all the time.
Right.
And basically it was like during the summer we'd hook, and then we'd hook up on the road, and then later, like when he was touring and I was on tour with my dad and my dad's band, or with some other people, we'd see each other, and you know, we played on a festival in Wales together or something like that.
Right.
one time, and I sat in with him, and then he opened up for my dad a few times, and he'd sit in with us, and you know, we'd run into each other here or there, but this is by far the most time we've spent together.
So what made you guys like decide to do what you're doing? What was the prompt?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I get asked this a lot, but I mean, I kind of try to come up with a different answer, but it's the answer.
I hate asking questions everybody else asks.
It's the answer is that we had talked about doing it, and it had been talked about for some time, and we were both busy, and it wasn't ever really pushed. I mean, if anything, I kind of, you know, I was a little timid about doing it, because I knew that it would be, you know, an Allman and a Betts, and I didn't want it to be about that, you know, so you kind of resist a little bit. But then once to fast forward, I mean, Devin had put together a show for Greg, for his dad, after he passed, at the Fillmore in San Francisco, and he invited me to come sit in. And around that time, I had just finished playing with Dawes. I was with Dawes for 1.5 years or 2 years, somewhere around there, as a touring guitarist. And I wanted to put out a record of my own with me singing and fronting the band, and I'd never done that.
Okay.
So that kind of coincided with this concert that he invited me to, and he had just wrapped up. I think he was doing Royal Southern Brotherhood, and I think that was done. And so we had revisited it. It was a conversation we had in like the summer of 2016, I think, about it. And I was still with Dawes, and I was like, well, I want to see where this goes. So fast forward, and back to the concert for Greg at the Fillmore, and he just came up with the idea of me opening up for him and us jamming together, you know, to kind of go along with me putting out a record. So it was me opening up for his band, and then us jamming together. And then the real moment where I was like, I think we both were like, let's do this, was when we started writing, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of went into it thinking, like, you know, let's play, and then, you know, we'll have some guitars around, and maybe, you know, a month or 2 months or whenever into it, you know, eventually we'll talk about it and pick up some guitars and see what we come up with and see if it's flowing. And it really was. I mean, the first song we wrote that we worked on together, I think, was off of the first record, Long Gone. And we were on our way down to Texas, down to Dallas, I think, and we were in the back of a bus on a long ride, and we worked really well together on it, just the two of us. And then we brought Stahl in, and we ended up writing the rest of the first record. So once I think we both saw that we had chemistry and that we liked each other's ideas and the flow was there, then it made sense, you know.
Right.
But it never makes sense to just do, you know, something because people will be interested in it.
No,
right off the bat.
You want it to be genuine and real and have soul.
Yeah. So I'm
happy
that we did it when we did it. You know, I think it's the right time.
Us too, man. It's really awesome, and like you said, it's its own thing, man, and it's really beautiful, and it's cool to hear the influence and the little bit of spice that's there, but it's its own dish. Like Apple said, it's home cooking. It's its own thing, and that's fucking dope to see, and to know that lineage is carrying on and has morphed and changed and become something else.
Sure, man. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely there. The spirit's there, but I mean, we look forward to making the next one and maybe going in there's a lot of different directions.
Is that in the works right now, or what?
We talked about it. We're taking a little more time. I mean, we kind of put the second one out really quick. You know, I don't know. You have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too into it, but okay. I mean, definitely we'll look forward to showing some different colors and some different looks that we haven't given yet.
Right. So before we take off, man, I want to ask you a question nobody's ever asked you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's the holiday time, right? And like Thanksgiving's coming, and it's that time of the year when like family gets together and we all cook and do our thing, right? And so is there like a recipe from your family or a dish from your family that you look forward to every year, like the thing that like gets you excited for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I have a great answer. For you. I was worried I wasn't going to have an answer.
Right on.
Okay. So my grandma, you know, my dad's side of the family, not so much my mom.
Okay.
My mom's side, I mean, she makes great Thanksgiving dinners too, but my dad's side, at the southern side, my grandma would make, it's called giblet gravy.
Oh.
And it's, I mean, I can ask him. I don't even know what it is. I could go in the other room and ask my dad, but I don't want to but it's,
I know what part of it, the giblets that a lot of people throw away from the turkey and stuff.
Guts and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. There's this amazing gravy that was passed down from my grandmother to my dad's now wife.
Oh shit.
And she makes a lot of the stuff, and she makes my grandmother's broccoli casserole that I remember having when I was like 4 years old, and collard greens and sweet potato casserole, like all that, all of that stuff, you know, black-eyed peas.
I'm coming to your house for Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Not this year.
Not this year. No.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of, the giblet gravy is kind of a unique experience.
I love that you had that answer. You made my day, man. So
yeah, man.
Hey, bro,
we get down at the at the Thanksgiving at the Betts house, man.
I appreciate you, man, and I love what you guys are doing. Keep doing it, brother. And
thank you so much.
Yeah, man. And when you guys have anything to promote or anything like that, hit us up, man. We're always here for you. Help get the word out.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, and it's really nice to meet y'all.
You too, man.
Through the telephone, and have a great night, man.
Yeah,
you too, brother.
Keep on smiling on stage, man. I'm so happy to see you guys out there.
You know what? I always get like these older ladies, like not old ladies, but like these women that like are like, you need to smile on stage. I'm like, have you ever like been in the middle of playing In Memory of Elizabeth Reed or or Savannah, any, it's like, I'm serious. I'm not like up there trying to, but I mean, I don't know. I think I smile when it's appropriate to smile, but sometimes
you do. I see it, man.
Yeah. Well, all right, y'all, man. Have a good night.
Have a beautiful day, brother.
Thanks.
Take care of yourself, man.
Bye-bye.
Later. That's royalty right there. That's the son of kings.
Yes.
That's that, and doing his thing. That's badass.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what strikes
Granny's
me?
Giblet gravy.
That strikes
That's
me.
well, my grandpa has a recipe for that. I wonder if my mom has it. Nobody'd probably eat it.
Well, so wait a minute.
It's
I want to get something straight. I mean, I know we just talked to him. We're talking about gravy, and this is important. So you like grind up the guts?
my grandpa wouldn't grind them.
Probably would like put them in a
like how the neck and the liver, the things are like that, are in that bag that most people just throw away, or they'll cut up and add to the stuff. Most people don't use that nowadays, it seems like.
Yeah.
But my grandpa would do that. The liver and those bits and stuff, just chop up in little pieces and do it like a roux, like
saute.
Yeah, like a roux with some flour. Get it a nice brownness, and then deglaze the pan and make a gravy. And it's got it's
that's how they did it in my family too, like with
it's
the
a little
bones
gamier,
or whatever. Yeah.
richer. I mean, it's
an experience.
Yeah, it's a heavy. It's different. And
I don't know why
he just made me Jones for it, because I don't think I've had giblet gravy since my grandpa passed when I was 19. It's probably been 30 something years.
I was
since
just
I had
thinking
giblet
about
gravy like that.
The Betts family Thanksgiving table, like this thing, and what is on that table at Thanksgiving, and you know
collard
that
greens, he just
black
said
eyed
that whole
peas.
thing.
Yeah, he gave us the 411.
Sweet potato casserole. That sounds.
I don't even know what that is, and it sounds good.
Yeah, there's
I want to
many.
look that up.
No, man, those guys are special human beings. Like, that's a lot of pressure to strap the guitar on and get up there with the expectation of, like he said, when people love the Allman Brothers or the Grateful Dead or Fish, they fucking love it, and they're protective.
And they have there's expectations,
right,
and standards, and
so that's got to be, you got to have brass cojones to get up there and do that in the first place, and be like, I'm gonna do my own thing. And
that's one way to look at it. It doesn't always have to go through that lens. You could just be like, I'm having fun. And I've known this is like play for me because I've been doing this my whole life.
That's true.
This is just like me hanging out and being normal. And you don't even have to address the pressure like, oh, that's Dad's thing, I'm doing my thing. Like, or not even separating it. Like, this is just what we do.
I mean, from the fans' perspective, though, because deadheads and are picky.
Just now, like talking to Duane, he sounds very relaxed and very comfortable in his skin as who he is, and everything.
Yeah.
And then you watch them, like watching that Connecticut show, seeing him and Devin, and like he said, people leave out Barry Oakley sometimes. His dad was in Allman Brothers too, and those three on stage together, there's like a kinship that's there, and they're so
fire.
The music is so comfortable; it just flows so easy. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's overthinking, and that's what I do. But like, I just wonder about the psychedelic side of it, and like, you know, the Allman Brothers created this whole psychedelic universe of music, and these kids that they had were born out and into that thing, born out of and into that world and that thing. And then the music that they make is like an extension of that world in a way, even though, and it's their own thing 100%, but it's like the DNA, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's really cool to see. So if you guys out there haven't had a chance, go check out all their stuff. The Allman Betts band is on fire, and you will not be disappointed, man. It's amazing music. And you know what, everybody?
What?
We'll be back next week with more stuff and things.
As usual.
Yes, we
As
will.
usual.
Got lots of stuffs and things.
We actually do have a lot of stuff and things right now.
we do.
I was like, at the beginning of the pandemic, I was like, how are we going to keep doing No Simple Road? And then now I'm like, we got all these episodes. I don't know what to do with them. Anyway.
Yeah.
So smile at a stranger. And take
Love
care.
one another.
Yep.
It's the holiday seasons. Get
Hydrate.
ready for those favorite dishes of yours to be on the table here
take
soon.
a little bit extra.
Oh.
Yeah, your vitamin C.
And if you're at a loss for what to buy your friend, relative, significant other, cousin, uncle, or whatever for the holidays, you can go to nosimpleroad.com and go up to the top and click on merch. There's all kinds of stuff ranging from what?
Coffee cups to hoodies
and shirts,
stickers,
and
fanny
packs, all kinds of fun stuff. So hook somebody up with a little No Simple Road love and help the family out, and you can feel good about the whole thing. And we love you guys. We'll see you next week.
We love you.
Peace.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so committed, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road. 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 Windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A = A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Hi, this is Henry Kay, host of the #1 music history podcast, Rootsland. Come with me on a journey to Kingston, Jamaica, where we explore the world of reggae music and the untold stories of some of the genre's greatest legends. From the ghettos and tenement yards where the music was born, to the island's iconic recording studios. We are so excited to team up with Osiris Media, the leading storyteller in music, because as you'll hear, sometimes the story is the best song.